Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Saggies out there. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we got for you this week, my gods. Talk to me about the Saggies. And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock, get this first card going for Saggy, please, my gods. What do we got as we move through the month of August? Okay, yeah, I've been seeing this for a lot of the fire signs this week. There is a heavy mental action here, a lot of daydreaming here, which isn't always a bad thing. It could be very creative as well. We got the double ballerinas chilling here. This imagery, since I got this deck, has always been super intriguing to me. I feel like it's very rich. There's a lot of symbolism here. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading, let's talk about it. So like I was referring to, the imagery of this card is very interesting. You'll notice that we have this little clown ballerina down here. It looks like she's taking a little nap or a snooze. She's in that fetal position. And then we have one up here on top that is walking a tightrope. I personally believe, after studying this card, that they are one and the same, that this one is dreaming or daydreaming about doing this. So whether it is a future focus for a lot of Saggies, your plans, your goals, your aspirations, what's coming down the pipeline, for a lot of you, you could be heavily in future focus mode, like what's going to happen now, or what way am I going to go, what's next type of energy. But a big thing here is it's very imaginative and creative and daydreaming. So some of you, you might just be in the mind more than usual, thinking. And whenever that's the case, I say now is the perfect time for you to create something. Bring it from the etheric into the physical, whether it's doing art, whether it's writing, whether it's music. When we have this type of energy, you could be very rich creatively in this time. So I would take advantage of that either way. This could be spirit asking you to do so. Okay, but for some of you, if you're not in future focus, if you're just winging it like a fire sign, I'm a fire sign too, I get it. We like to wing it sometimes. Spirit could be asking you to really just maybe plan your next steps wisely. Let's get into tarot. I'll put that over there. As I always say, that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. We're going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, then we'll get that intuitive juiciness going. So let's shuffle it up here for Saggy, please. My God, so what do we got in mid-August? And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. It was super interesting. Now, it was titled A Surprising Talk, so for a lot of you, there's interesting conversations to be had, whether it's like ones popping up out of nowhere or people telling you surprising things or just re-emerging. I felt that was a big energy for a lot of Saggies that could still bleed over into the coming weeks. But there was an interesting energy we had. I do believe there was like 10 of Cups and 10 of Swords energy in the Saggy reading, which was super interesting. So there's a big dichotomy of energy, like a big split. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. Hopefully you haven't been going through rough things in this time. But let's get you 3 cards. What do we got for Saggy in mid-August? And as you know, only take this out hits for you. Energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, right? And we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get it going. What do we got for Saggy, please? Thank you. Okay, yeah, so the mystery is still showing up. This is something that's been happening quite a bit for you, my friends. Lots of unknown energy with the 2 of Swords in position number 1. I don't feel like that's confusion there. Let's get you 2 more. Swords, so that's the communication, that's the mental. So we've been seeing these energies around you for a while. Okay, here's the communication. Once again, we have the Page of Wands, big card of the new, big card of pushing forward on to the next, what's next. But you also have the 8 of Swords here on the back end. So much unknown here. I'm feeling that already, my friends. And Aries had this card as well in the exact same position. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, gotta mention on the extreme ends, we have 2 swords. When we see swords, we think of the realm of communication and the realm of the mind. So we've been seeing it ever since this oracle card in the very beginning. There could be a lot happening mentally, a lot going on in the brain. But we also have fire, a card that could represent you, and it could add a spark to this air. And you know what I always say, when we mix fire and air, it could be kaboom. But let's go through one by one. We'll really build out this picture. And another thing I want to mention, since I always say this is a card of mystery, notice that these are both hoodwinked. They're both blindfolded. So there could be unknown, unexpected, or mysterious things. But position number one, let's work our way through step by step. The Two of Swords. Now, classically, all twos could represent being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision, needing to make a choice. Do I go left? Do I go right? Sometimes this card could represent confusion or indecision, not knowing which way to go or what to do. But technically, to me, since it's in the nighttime, it's dark, there's a moon, this is one of my bigger cards of mystery right next to the moon card. So when I see this, the surprising, like we saw last week, the unexpected, the mysterious, things that you don't quite see just yet. For some of you, hopefully you're not stressing about the future here, especially with this and this Eight of Swords. There could be somebody that's a little anxious or wound tight, for sure. When I see this on the front end, the Eight of Swords on the back end. But to me, this could literally just be something you don't see when we look at the clarifier. For some of you, yeah, maybe there is something you're confused about or you just don't get. Okay, like that don't make sense. So we'll see if that's a warning or not as we press forward through the reading. Now in the center, this is where we get to another interesting card. Like I said, we have a ton of nuance this week. We have the Page of Wands in the upright. And this is a card that could represent you or any other fire sign. And in my simplistic style, the clarifier could tell us something that's coming towards you or a way that you could be feeling. The fire signs have been page heavy this week. And once again, just like with last week's reading, pages are students. They're also messengers. They're cards of new. So whether this is a new venture you're going on, whether this is a conversation or somebody wanting to talk to you, that could be a big vibe with this Page of Swords. One warning about this card, though, that I always like to give, because I like to give you the positives and the challenges. The Page of Swords is an energy that can be prone to burn itself out. So in this time, make sure you're not pushing yourself too hard on things. Make sure you're prioritizing where you put your energy, that you're not wasting your energy when we have the Page of Wands. But for some of you, it could just be very simplistic when we get down to the clarifier. Now, getting to the back end, this is where we get another little layer. Now, we have the Eight of Swords. Like I said, it showed up in the same position in the Aries read. The Eight of Swords, to me, the positive about it is that it's a very fleeting type of energy, and this could be an issue or a problem that you could quickly solve. Okay, like if you see all the moving parts, you could solve it. Notice she's blindfolded, so we still do have this mysterious, unseen type of energy showing up here. But when this card shows up, you might be feeling trapped, you might be feeling cornered. It could be something as minor as cabin fever or needing to get out. So you might need to switch something up and switch your schedule when we have this Eight of Swords. There's a longing for freedom when we have this card. But once again, similar to the Nine of Swords, this card could represent an individual that is very much stressed out, anxious, or nervous. So we really want to clarify this. And once again, this could be somebody else's energy. It doesn't have to be yours. So we're going to pop this down right over here. And yeah, we're going to dive deeper, Saggy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, we're going to shuffle it up one time, my friends. What do we got for Saggy, please? Let's reset this deck for you. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Two of Swords. And yes, my friends, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Two of Swords time. Why is that Two of Swords here for my friends? To this mystery here. This is good. All right, we got the Nine of Cups under here, my friends. I'm feeling nothing but good things here, Sagittarius. Even if you're going through something and it does seem a little bit rough, or if you've been having a really tough time, if you've gone through a tough situation or whatever it might be that you've been dealing with recently, in the end, you are going to be very happy with the results. Even if like right now, it's like, how can I be happy right now when this just happened? Leave that in Spirit's hands, because we have the Nine of Cups in the upright. This is a card of wish fulfillment and happiness. And when we see it under a mysterious card like this could be like a sudden win, a sudden breakthrough of some sort, or an unexpected win or victory. Straight up, this is beautiful energy. Now, there is a bit of a, I don't want to put a pessimistic meaning into this. I always say it. This card does warn against overindulgence of any kind. So whether that's eating too much, drinking too much, partying too much. There could also be a warning with this card about being too kind to people, if you know what I mean, to the point where like you might be so kind to someone that they take advantage. So in this time, watch out for stuff like that. Be kind, be understanding to people, but don't let anyone walk all over you. But for the vast majority of you with this Two of Swords, even if you don't know how it's going to turn out good, even if you don't know how it's going to turn out right, like I said, this could be a sudden, surprising breakthrough or an unexpected win or victory. It feels very, very good to me. The end result, even if you are at a crossroads, even if you are confused, the end result is going to be a good one. I would claim this energy for sure. Let's move on. We're going to leave that as it is. So let's go in on that Page of Wands. I like it. So we'll see if it stays good, because we do have that Eight of Swords on the back end. So why is that Page of Wands here? Thank you. Five of Cups. Okay. In this time, you might be in your feels a little bit. You might be struggling with feelings of depression from time to time, or there might be something you're a little sad about when we have the Five of Cups. And this doesn't feel like devastation to me. This does feel like a little bit of gloom. So in the coming week, coming days, coming week, there might be something that feels a bit gloomy, or just something about it feels a bit downtrodden. I don't feel like a lot of you, like, this is terrible, terrible energy. But the Five of Cups is the River of Tears, okay? For a portion of you, this is absolutely Spirit saying, like, listen, if you're holding on to something very heavy, if you've gone through serious things, serious situations, don't suppress this energy. Talk about it with the Page of Wands. Let it out. Don't suppress. So for a lot of you, you might need to really let those feelings out, whether it's a conversation with who the other party is, or just talking to somebody where you can have a release of this energy. Because the Five of Cups energy is something we all feel from time to time, but it's not good to really suppress it. So for some of you, you might need to have an emotional talk or conversation with somebody where you just tell them how you're feeling. Okay, like, listen, this is how I feel. This is why I feel that way. And you might feel much better afterwards. Aside from that, I do feel like for some of you, there could be, regardless of the good energy we have, there's a little bit of gloom here for some reason. So let's keep moving over to the Eight of Swords. For a portion of you, it could just be somebody that's upset over a situation with you, right? Like with the Five of Cups and a card, that could be you. So only take it how it hits, right? Yeah, there could be somebody upset with how something elapsed. Let's see what's going on with that Eight of Swords. Still, I don't feel like it messes with this good energy we have right here on the front end. Might just be a little gloomy. It's all good. So let's see what's up with that Eight of Swords. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. There it is. Thank you. Temperance. Okay, this is the card that does represent you, my friends. Okay, you might need to switch something up, change something up in your regular schedule. Okay, and I was getting a very similar thing in the same spot in the Aries reading about change. Temperance is your card. Okay, in the tarot deck. And underneath this Eight of Swords, like, I am feeling this constrained. There might be something that is holding you proverbially as prisoner, or I don't mean that literally, but for some of you, there could be something that feels like it's like clamping you down, or you feel like you might be tied down or bogged down to something. I feel for a lot of you, this is a problem or issue that you can solve if you lean into your power, if you lean into the good traits that you bring to this world and the people around you. Temperance is extremely angelic. It's very protective. Okay, so this card, even under the Eight of Swords, it could be Spirit saying, like, listen, you're protected. I got you. But under a card like this Eight of Swords, like, you might be feeling a little anxiety or nervousness in this time. Even though we have such good positivity right here in the front end, Temperance here underneath this Eight of Swords, yeah, there might be something that you do need to change, and you know that. Okay, like, you would already know it. If it's hitting for you, you know what needs to change. Okay, you know what might not be the healthiest. Okay, and there's no judgment here. I never read cards with judgment whatsoever, my friends. Nobody's perfect. But when I see this, there could be something, you know, like, could be holding you down or holding you back in some sort of way, some problem or issue. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Saggy, because I feel like even though we have some challenges here on the back end, there's this good positivity in the beginning, which I love. Because even if you are going through all this stuff on the back end, this is Spirit saying everything's going to be okay. But let's go through real quick before the shadow card. If you look here in the box, position number 1, we have the Two of Swords with the Nine of Cups. Yes, I did give you that warning about overindulgences of any kind, partying it up a little too much, being too nice or too kind to people. Don't let anyone take advantage of you in any sort of way in this time. But A big thing I was picking up here is for a lot of you, even if you are going through problems, issues, situations, it's going to turn out way better than you possibly think. I would claim this energy because it feels like an unexpected win or like a sudden breakthrough of some sort, where things shift and change very quickly. Moving to the center, we have the Page of Wands with the Five of Cups in the upright. A couple of things I was feeling here. One, you might be feeling a little gloomy from time to time in the coming days and weeks. It's only natural. For a portion of you, maybe this is someone very sad about a situation that you two have recently gone through. But a main vibe I was picking up here is now is not a good time for any sort of suppression. If you are feeling something, if you're feeling intense, if you're feeling sad, whatever it might be, you need some sort of outlet for it. You might need to have an emotional talk with somebody. Okay, whoever it might be. Moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Swords with Temperance in the upright. You are being protected. You are being watched over. But that is your power card underneath this Eight of Swords. There is something that you know might need to change, or you might need to switch it up because it could be holding you back. A lot of you could be feeling very cabin fevery, or you might be feeling trapped in some sort of way, bogged down. But you know what might need to be changed when we have this on the back end. Please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. See what's in the shadows for Saggy. And yeah, that was an interesting reading this week. Kind of like last week, it was a bit of a mixed bag, right? But that's how life goes, right? Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Really like that we have this unexpected win energy in the beginning. And yeah, I'm just going to pull you one card real quick. I always say it's nice to pull a shadow card at the very end, just to put icing on the cake. So let's see what's in it. Whether it's something within yourself, whether it's something you don't quite see, because we did have that mystery showing up. Okay, yeah, we do have the King of Swords. This is a big card of planning for a portion of you. This could represent issues with an air sign. So we're talking Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. The King of Swords could be very stern, could be very strategic. This could be talking about plans, but I'm not really going to go the fear route with this. When I see the King of Swords in the shadows, this could be Spirit saying like, hey, in the past, your lack of planning or your lack of determination with something, being willing to see it through, may have come back around to bite you. But like I was saying in the main part of the reading itself, don't let anybody take advantage or walk all over you in this time. This is the type of energy that doesn't allow stuff like that to happen. So once again, instead of this being a problem, the King of Swords could be Spirit asking you to step into the King or Queen of Swords type of energy, where it's like, okay, this is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to be meticulous, and I'm going to be determined, and I'm going to see it through. If I say it, I'm going to do it. If that is my purpose, I'm going to see it through. So maybe some of you need to plan something out a little more meticulously when this card shows up, or that could have been something you need to do. This can be a very cold energy as well. So for some of you, maybe you had dealings with an individual that was like very stern, serious, cold, and it could have left a mark on you. But we're just going to leave that as it is, Saggy. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.